So the first thing we had to do to build a house is, of course, find a place to build it. This small town is also a popular small town. Popular in Japan, popular internationally, costs a lot of money to buy land or to buy houses here, more than your typical small town in Japan. In parts of Japan, the government is trying to sell abandoned old houses for, like $500. They'll even give incentives, etc., to revitalize a lot of these small towns. So this is going on all over Japan. It's not going on here because this town is kind of popular. We started looking for land here and we realized right away that there's two prices for land. There's the local price and there's the tourist price or the traveler price or whatever. Here's what happens. A lot of people come here, they see the beauty of the place, they experience the skiing, something I haven't experienced yet, and they're like, wow, this is a place I want to live. So they put down the money. There is a very inflated price for the travelers or for the tourists, etc. They pay a lot of money. We were not interested in that level of money because, as I mentioned in the last video, we work online and that means we don't make a lot of money. So we need to find something that's affordable. We started looking for cheap plots of land, the cheapest places we could find. Naturally, the cheapest land is the least desirable. Why is it least desirable? Basically, in this area, the amount of snow and the possibility of more or less getting snowed in is going to decide the value of the house. But be careful, because for the tourists, it's actually more expensive because the tourists come and they think, wow, that's so charming, it's wonderful, it's right on the mountains, it looks beautiful. They pay a premium for that. But what we were looking for was everyday life of an everyday person. And so in order to do that, living up on those hills is not an option. Living close to the hills is not an option. The snow is still heavy in those areas and it still comes down and plops down on your house. As we talked to people in the area, they told us, maybe you don't want to live over there. And we thought, fair enough, that we get it, we understand that, but we can't afford the prices as you move more into town. But we got lucky. That was part of the indication to us that, well, we'd probably better go ahead and do this thing. It's not a big plot of land. It's pretty small, actually. It's big enough for a house. And one of the cool things is in the area, they require that you build a house only on about 20% of your land. That means 80% of your land is not a house. Well, what does that do? That preserves the forest, it preserves the view, it does a lot actually for your neighbors, etc., obviously. So that means that we've got much more land than we will have house. So there we are. We've found our plot of land after months looking on the internet, checking every real estate company, watching every deal that came around, and literally watching the prices increase, because that was the other thing that was happening. As COVID and the pandemic was, getting worse and worse through the course of the year, people wanted to get out of the city. And this is happening all over the world. So the prices are going up and up and up, and we're watching it and we're thinking, oh geez, it's going to be impossible to get into this place. But we did. We found a plot of land and we went to the bank. And I'll talk about the bank on the next episode.